Hello YouTube, I'm back again with another rant video, and although it may be a little too late, the point of this rant is to give my thoughts and opinions of the situation so you can grasp what's going on. So from what I understand based on my research, you have a man named Jason Ianazzo, who's 49 years old, who actually ends up going to jail after this altercation. Apparently, like, this guy wasted his life. From what I understand, he's working as a wealth advisor, so he's working a very successful job, and then going from that to being a failure and end up getting fired for what's happening right now that I'm about to explain. So before the altercation, apparently, like, this man ordered 2 smoothies. So what happened is that he told one of the employees that he wanted to ensure the employees to make sure not to put any peanuts in one of the smoothies, in both either 1 or 2 smoothies. I assume he was either sharing or he had his own. So I guess the employees accidentally mixed the peanuts into one of the smoothies, and then but the thing is, there's one thing I don't understand, is why the father didn't explain why not to put peanuts, or why he didn't warn them, especially, or mention anything about allergies, his son being allergic, because I guarantee that all would have been avoided had he brought that up with the manager or the employees, and then it would have been avoided. Or maybe he shouldn't have decided to come there in the first place, especially if they serve peanuts. So obviously the son accidentally drank one of the smoothies, and then later finding out, like, well, probably it was, I assume, when they got home, that he got sick later. He felt nauseous, he felt uncomfortable, and then led to him going to the hospital. And after all that transpired, you have this situation. He apparently the next day he approached the same smoothie restaurant, and then he confronts police. But these aren't the same people. These actually happen to be entirely different employees. So he goes aggro. He becomes very hostile. He takes it out on these high school girls, and they're lost and confused because they have no clue what's going on. One thing I'm gonna bring up, I hate people who do not use the brain. I don't have respect for those people. I don't feel sorry for them, because, like, I understand it depends on how you handle the situation. It's very important, because karma will come back and bite you. But he clearly did not know how to handle situations, because this is one thing I personally dislike, is how people are willing to take their anger and lash out on the wrong people who had nothing to do with the situation, who have no clue what's going on. So he's basically an idiot, honestly. So just because they work there does not mean it's the same employees who were responsible for adding peanuts to your son's smoothie. And is it gonna really bring it back, honestly? No. And this went viral too, especially I heard along that you could tell this is on TikTok too. And for whoever recorded, I'm guessing it's one of the high school girls. And from my knowledge, people are saying that, like, he was being racist. Obviously, he attacked one of the girls. He threw a smoothie at the girl in the blue, and she lashed out. They were going off on him too, he as well as him. And then they were hoping that he was probably, I assume, he was daring them to either call the police. And then when they cussed him out, when they were insulting him, he had the nerve to actually barge and try to get into the back door of the employees' room, where they were where they're managing their department, where they're making the food, everything. So he was willing to attack all of them, and he was because he doesn't know how to control his composure. He lost his composure. He doesn't. His anger was just came out of nowhere, blew up at random people. And this is what I'm talking about, honestly. Like, clearly someone like that, like, To be real, there's that they don't deserve a job. Honestly, they don't deserve any sympathy. I understand people make mistakes. He should have thought about in his mind that these are obviously the wrong place. Not everyone knows. They were clearly unaware that his son was allergic. And he says these employees these days, they just understand what they're dealing with. Because especially every when you're working at restaurant daily basis, I can tell you it's a struggle. It's not an easy task because there are times where some customers will give you a bad day, or there are some customers that'll make your life feel comfortable and just comfortable to talk to, and then you have conversations. But there's some people you can't have conversations, especially this man, Jason Ianazzo. So for him, yeah, I understand for him to react that way, to be upset, but the way he handled it was very poor. It was out of taste. And you know what his job is gonna say? His boss, they're gonna say, we don't need a guy that can and doesn't know how to manage his own anger. Not that, sure, he may be able to manage it, but does he know how to control his emotions? Obviously, he can't because like he imagine getting upset. I understand it's not that simple. I understand where he's coming from. It's not simple to control your to be happy. It's not. It's you just lose yourself. You lose who you are. Like you don't become yourself when you're upset. You don't really think straight. I understand, but because obviously his son is suffering, and he felt that in a way like he's acting like as if somehow someone within the Smoothie restaurant was plotting to assassinate his own son, even though they had no knowledge. They were not aware that he was allergic to peanut butters because that is the restaurant. If anything, he should blame the restaurant. Why couldn't he have been professional, especially if you're a wealth advisor? He could have had the opportunity to sue the restaurant, but now he lost that chance, fat chance now. And you know what people are gonna say? Well, we don't want to hire this guy. We saw what happened in that video. You're not the right person for us. And especially with the criminal record too. Like, yeah, because honestly, because this guy just shows that regardless how old you are, especially considering his age, you should know better, honestly. And these are high school girls that he's fighting. Imagine like someone fighting, possibly trying to get in a fight with a minor. Like that's a bad look, honestly. And I wonder how his court, what will happen when he's in the courtroom. Like honestly, yeah, I don't know if he'll plead guilty. He's gonna probably possibly use an excuse saying that they don't know the that not ev- that ev- there was that not everything was how it seems. They possibly cut some parts that might show that he's not as guilty as he seems. Like he's trying to make it out as if he's the victim, like a lot of criminals do. But like I said though, like he clearly does not know how to control his composure. He took it on the wrong people. Especially to me, doesn't makes absolutely no sense. If anything, he should have spoke to the manager, whoever was responsible, whoever is even like supplying peanuts. Maybe be able to tell people that like to keep, maybe like I said, maybe you should, if you really want to eat somewhere with his son, he wants to spend time with him where he can enjoy life, should have just left to another restaurant that doesn't serve peanuts. Very simple. But he escalated to the point where like he lashed out for no reason on the wrong people. Like that's what I understand. Like I understand it's over the peanuts, but these people have no clue because they were not there to witness that. They were not the ones who orchestrated the peanuts. They're not the ones who gave it to their son without knowing. Even if whether someone told them, even if they were there, they like possibly, like I said, he could have possibly talked to another employee, and they're the ones that were responsible for serving them the food. Like I said, is a like if he really had an issue, honestly, there's so many ways it could have been handled instead of him trying to pick fights with people who, especially who had nothing to do with it. He just assumed just because they work there. So if so just because someone works there, you have you have to blame on everybody, even though they have nothing to do with hurting your son. They have nothing to do with serving the peanuts. They give you a smoothie was not that was not supposed to be like served to you, to your son and you. Like I said, either you would have been if you want to share some quality time with your son, rejoice. Like, don't escalate. Now your son's gonna probably think, now my dad's in jail. What was the point of him trying out? What was the point of him trying to look up, like, like, look up for me, like, look after me, be willing to, like, be able to do the right thing, be able to offer him help, be able to help him recover quicker, but he didn't. He should have been their first son, honestly. But to get upset over peanuts, like I said, obviously that he didn't bring up the fact that his son was allergic. That should have been his priority, honestly, because they had no clue. No one was supposed to know that his son was even allergic because he didn't bring that up. He just said, don't provide peanuts with the smoothie or any smoothie or whatever they were. I don't know. Personally, don't care because it's not my order, honestly. Like again, this is gonna affect him, and I'm sure the son is traumatized. And then hopefully he can get his life together as well as the son. Then he can, at least, I don't know how old the son is, but at least like he'll be able to have his dad to look after him, and just I don't know how his family lifestyle is. I don't know how it is with his family, like, but at the same time, like, it's gonna be very difficult finding out your family member has been arrested because they made a stupid, reckless decision, and then you feel guilty on top of it because, like, although it's not the son's fault for being allergic, but because the problem is that's what started and then caused his dad to get frustrated and take his anger and lash it out on people who didn't deserve it. And again, he will serve his time in prison, like, and then hopefully maybe someone will bail him, either his son if he has the money or someone else that's close that can oversee the situation and realize that he made a mistake, and then he can change his ways and maybe give an apology for how he acted. And again, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Be sure to look for a look and check for upcoming content. Be sure to also check your notifications, comment, like, subscribe. Thank you.